What's going on, y'all? It's Greg. Greg said it. Coming off a bye week, Colorado's back and rolling, man. It's what, Tuesday? And these weeks go by so quick during the week. You got life. We got this day here where the country is going through a process. Things about to change, right? One way or another, ready or not, right? And got this thing with Colorado. I just find it interesting, really. Colorado just came out of nowhere, right? To some people. A lot of people turned on them. And here we are coming up on the opportunity to play a few more games to make it possibly, very possibly, to the Big 12 championship. Now, sometimes they say, oh, don't get too far ahead. Well, you're at the end now. And you got to do one by one anyway. But the possibility, it didn't look like it was there. People try to write us off so early. And here we are at the back end of the schedule. Everybody's respectable, but nobody's who everybody just knew they was going to be when they gave us the schedule. That, oh, you just going to lose all your games. Now it's everybody like, really slick, really think about it. People knew this was possible some games ago, but now it's coming into play. Some people starting to lose, and it's getting very interesting. And I thought about something, y'all. I'm always the person. Anybody who actually follow me, if you ain't, make sure you like, share, subscribe. I've always been a person. I tell you when things are coming. I point things out. I talk about the refs and the issues with them kind of manipulating the games. It's a little over some people head. It's over some people head. They kind of look at it like, oh yeah, and then it come true. I understand that. I'm someone I'm a forerunner. I see stuff before the people see it. Some people never see it. Just from their program and their mentality, they just don't. They think I'm just talking until it happens. One of the things that I just talked about, everybody, and then somebody got to Coach Prime. They say it then, but it did. Because he said exactly what I said, and just leave it at that. I don't know how. I'm not going to claim. I'm not getting a cookie. I'm not getting nothing out of it. But I talked about those night games. Surely enough, articles come out today all over the place. I saw the MSN, a lot of other places picked it up. They say Colorado's ratings are down 49% in his second year compared to his first year, right? And something like the numbers looking like about 8 million last year, 4 million this year. And people say, well, they're still number one. You always changing the point. The question was never about who's number one, who's not, who's the top, who's not. The point is, compared to last year, his first year, you can come up with all the theories you want. But you also can look at facts. And the facts is, the ratings are about half. And I'm the one who told everybody, playing at night is not the prime spot. Especially playing at 10 o'clock, late at night, late night. I say, the later you play, the less people looking at you. Because they're not really going to be up, especially on the East Coast, and that's what most of your fans are. People sit here and they argued about, well, you can't complain that. Again, you're moving the goalposts. That ain't about complaining. I simply said that the team plays worse. Certain people made the argument. They couldn't argue the fact they played worse. They didn't even try. They say, well, it's about the money. Well, guess what? You're making less. Just like I said, it's common sense. Less eyeballs are going to be at night. That's common sense, including the people who make the comments. You watching it. It's less people. Less people going to be watching the game at 10 o'clock. You don't have two already. Out of the first, how many games they done played so far? The record is what now? 6-2 at this point. How many games left? 4 games, something like that. But if you really look at it, out of 8 games, Colorado has only played 2-day games. Out of 8, they're like first 4 games was night games. Not a day game in there. They played UCF, then they went and played Kansas State, late night game. Played one more day game, then went back to another late night game. So you look at out of all them games, only 2 was during the day. And when you compare it, 5 out of their first 6 games this year were night games. Now, if that's too deep for you, let's just keep moving. Just keep listening. Nah. But I'm just saying, it's a significance because last year when their ratings were higher, twice as much, guess what their first 5 games were? Not first 5, but their first, out of the first 6 games, 5 of them were day games. They played TCU, that was like a noon game. They played the second game, Nebraska, that was a day game. It was like, I think Big Noon was there and all that at their school. Then the third game was against Colorado State. That was that night game, and they played horrible, and Travis, it was just gloomy. And then the next 2 games, Oregon and USC, they were all day games, right? And then after that, they went on to play, I think it was Arizona State, I believe, and that was a night game, right? But when you look at it, all those games in the beginning, they were pretty much, most of them was day games, right? So people watching the games during regular college hours and the hype, it was more accessible, and they clearly watched the game, and the ratings was clearly counted. Now, they only at that point was compared to the year before. Now it's year 2. You got all these night games, and now you looking back at it. I'm saying, telling y'all, you're arguing. Like, I mean, I know marketing. You know what I'm saying? Look here. Common doggone sense that the night slots are not the best slots. Even when you look at TV, the best slots are around like 6 p.m. And that's like news prime time. Ain't nobody watching no news at 9, 10 o'clock. Matter of fact, the infomercials and all that became popular because nobody wanted them late night slots at 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. That's how it goes. Nobody's staying up to watch you. It's not convenient. It's stressful. I looked at that first game and then moved to Thursday. People, oh, that's probably, no, it's not, because people got to go to work the next day. They would have got more views playing on that Saturday. Plus, you don't see and tell me that you was the only team that played that night, because every Thursday night or Friday night, whatever, these college teams, multiple guys playing. They might be on your channel. They might not be on a primetime channel, but they're on a channel that's accessible. I got all of them. I got the Tanggula. I know. If you look at any college schedule, you will see all these teams listed in the channels they're on. And it's way more games than maybe you think. And so you're never really playing. Now, even if you're playing late at night, you're never the only one playing. The only time you really get that luxury is maybe like when you're in NFL and that one network got the spotlight and they're not competing with no other network for that time slot. They're not going to put no other time at that when it's a true prime time. That don't really happen in college. They don't shut everybody else down for one game. It's too many college teams. They don't do that. They got their own contracts and all that. They don't care. They got, I'm in the Big 12. I'm in the SEC network. We got all these different networks. ESPN ain't caring about what Fox say. ESPN got about 45 channels they sell. Fox got multiple channels. So it's like, it just don't matter. Like, you trying to make it. You don't listen. But the positive is, guys, the daytime buffs are back, baby. See, they overplayed their hand with all them night games up front. And, of course, we've been talking about it. Maybe it get to them. But we already see, out of the last 4 games, 3 have already been scheduled for the day, right in time. And 2 of them, look at the gift that we get. 2 of them is at the time Colorado practice. The irony. I think last year they played Nebraska like early in the morning. That was the one. And it might have been one other one. Look how they played. The other teams are now at a disadvantage, because these noon games are 10 o'clock Mountain Time. Guess when Colorado practice? They practice in that 9, 10 o'clock window. To the point, I think Utah is already complaining. Why we got to come and play? I think they mad they got to play a late night against BYU. Then they got to play Colorado, and they got to play 10 a.m. game. They tripping. But now Colorado finally get the benefit of the schedule. But look what they had to go through. Now it's playing in their favor. That they actually get some day games, and now they got to balance that thing out since they front loaded it so ridiculous. They didn't spread them out. This night game, day, night, day. Now you can't do all that night. Now you like a fool. So now the remaining 4 games, don't be surprised. I had already said it for their schedule. I say they don't set it up. Well, Colorado gonna get some day game. You got to go down to Texas now. You ain't got to play in the night and get hit in the head with them taco shells and the hoobie-jooby jumping around and hear ghosts and all that crap. Now you get to play them in the bright day where you play best. Gonna beat them to sleep. Gonna be like jump out on them like Arizona. You gonna say they play good on the road. They play better that day, and you're gonna see it in the remaining 4 games. Less slow starts, more productive, more in their character and their nature. Pay attention. The daytime Buffs are back, and they back right when you need them most. They back in time. They got 2 away games and 2 home games. And there's only 1 game that hasn't been scheduled, and that's Kansas. That's an away game. Everything else already been scheduled. So at the very least, we can get 3 out of 4 day games. 2 in the morning. How about that? It's going to be great. It's almost like an inspiration, motivation moment, really. It'd be great if I had knew this yesterday, because it's like these guys suffered through the abuse, really. It was unnatural. You can try to flip them down and say, "Whoa, they got it now." They don't change the fact that they shouldn't have had it. But since they overplayed their hand, then you got no more night games to really throw at them like that, back to back. You might can try to slide it in Kansas if you want. You probably don't. They already done played at least, 6 night games already. They already done did half the scheduled night games. You gonna get them over half night games? Most people don't even play but maybe 3 at most, or 4 at most night games a year. They really use them for real prime time games. They just don't play them bloop, 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 bloop. They sure ain't getting no 2, 3, 10, 15 games. And they ain't in no Pacific Coast. They ain't in that time zone. So you looking at, guys, it's a great sign for Colorado. They got 2 home games left. They get Utah back at home. And they get Oklahoma State back at home. It was 2 great times to be at home. They're going to go to Texas. They're going to go to Kansas later. And they're in very good position. I won't care about no doggone bowl game. I won't care about no ranking. I wouldn't care about nothing, because you can kill it all by being ignorant. You're going to be crying, feeling sorry for yourself. Your life is in your hands. It's the most beautiful thing. These people want to make it to the NFL. They're going to get more looks going to the playoff and then the championship. Going to get more looks, going to get more respect. Shador, you can prove who you are. Travis can put the icing on it, because they can't say, "Well, you didn't get it because you was on the 6-6 team. Well, you didn't get it because you had a losing record." Kill that mess. All the excuses done. Now what you gonna do, apples to apples? You can't hide, you can't run, you can't make no excuses. The goalpost is cemented in the ground. You ain't moving it. That's where we at, y'all. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful time in history. The truth always gonna come to the light. You can dance around the truth. You can lie. You can deceive. You can manipulate. But thank God, the truth always will prevail. It always had and always will. And it's showing proof right now. He said he lied. They naysay. You know, if you can beat somebody, beat them. What you need to lie for? Why you got to cheat, steal, manipulate? You can beat them, beat them. Don't add all these other vices and all this other witchery, manipulation of people and try to stir people up against somebody. Just win. Coward. Just win. Be fair and win. You doing all that talking and manipulating like that's the strategy. No, you're going to have to beat. You're going to have to win. Forget all that. Thank God that it is one. I don't know what you don't know, but that proof. Or else, everything that's going to run rapid and just be lying and get away, you ain't getting away with it for long. The day of reckoning is coming. Boy, we look forward to it. I know I do. But I'm just Greg. Greg said it. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, comment. And I'll be talking to y'all soon.